Well, here we are. Let's see what we got going here. 0. And let's get this up here. We're just picking off where we left, starting where we left off. Thanks for the like. I don't see anybody on here, but I got a like, so that's all well and good. Oh, shoot. Okay, leaving from where we left off last night, we're going to continue filling out the boxing end of the trailing edge. Except I'm going to have to rearrange things here because this is going to fall off the bench. We got those in there. Boom, boom, put them in there. We need these pieces. I think I got enough. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Yep, I do. It'll go quick. If I can find the parts. There they are. Oh, that's short. Don't want a short, I want a long. Okay, we're done with this thing. We'll work on the wingtips, I guess, tonight. Okay. I guess I can work on getting that bell crank mounted in there. First thing I need to do is get the cuts all out. Open that thing up. If you guys don't have one of these, I would suggest that you get one. It's about $18. I'm sure they were cheaper, but they're $18 now. This little cuts all bit. I don't know what it's carbide or, I mean, it really cuts. Really cuts. let's hog this out here. Gotta have it plugged in. Got to be plugged in. This wing's almost complete. I don't need to run it that fast. Make all that noise. Gotta be careful here. I don't wanna ding the lines. Well, I think that's enough. So the first thing we're gonna glue this one in first. Top one. I've already got it marked center where it needs to go. We're gonna have to put some tubing on this to space it. So I need to check that first. Let's see, I had it up high. I need to push that up there. I didn't clearance it enough. Kind of important you clearance everything. Sorry you can't see down in here, but I've got to think about building, not about filming. As you can hear, it really cuts. It's called a cuts-all burr or whatever. I'm not sure. Not that loose. Make sure that's glued. See here. be okay with those right there as is. Maybe so. So I see what it is. It's a bump right there. We got her now. Okay, I'm going to glue that piece in. Now, this piece here that I'm gluing in is very important that it's done correctly. It must be epoxied to the spar underneath the sheeting. So it's up against that spar. These ribs, they don't really mean anything. That is the joint that you're worried about. The ribs just kind of hold it there. So we'll mix up a little 5-minute. Hey, Jonathan. Yeah, it's slow, but I'm not in a rush to do this airplane. The Magnum needs finished before this one. I'm just trying to get it together so I can kind of store it up out of the way. I'll build all the parts and then put the components together. Okay. So I'll re-glue it from the bottom too. What? I think I missed. And I think I need to go down a little bit. So we'll cut her down a little bit. get on this, it's starting to set. Okay. The human clamp will hold this in place. Let's see what my mouse is over there. I can't see what they said. Yeah. You're leaving the meat. Yep, I'm going to leave it all together. It doesn't weigh that much. Just a little piece of mind. It's a pretty important part of the airplane. It, you know, like I'll show you what it weighs. I think it's like 3 grams. So what am I going to take out of this? 1 gram. This basswood is about as light as balsa wood. As soon as this dries, I'll flip it over and I'm going to mix up some more epoxy and epoxy it from the other side. And I'll do the same thing on the other spar, or the other compression, compression spar. Can't have this too strong. Still got to cut a tank box. I'll put an 1/8" piece running from this rib to that rib inside there, and then 2 false ribs. Yeah. Well, a bow can snap and hit you in the face. I think we're going to have a tornado tonight. I looked out the window and it was windy. Okay, we got to get rid of this so I don't make a mess. We need a bigger piece of wood to mix on, or something. I guess we can mix on this. Oh man, I got a goober right there. Gotta do it with the towels right here. I don't think it's set up yet, but flip it over. Flip it over, yeah, it's good enough. Nope, not really. Not really. Oh, wait. We'll wait. Dan, if you're watching this, get out of the chair and get into the garage. The gnats. Yeah, it's 5-minute epoxy. The gnats will roll around quicker than you think, as you saw last year. That's why it's good to have some airplanes in reserve. I got 5 airplanes in reserve here. Got the Monado I could fly, the Continental I could fly, the Juno I could fly, the Tucker I can fly. So that's 2, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 airplanes in reserve because I got the Thunderbolt, but I could finish that up relatively quick. All it needs is some clear and some ink, and that might see service this year. If nobody buys it from me, it might see service this year. So we're going to mix on this. Try again. We'll try again. I wonder if I got an acid brush handy. I had some. Don't know what happened to them. Oh well, not really readily available, so I'll just put it on with this, the stick. Boy, it's thundering out there. It's a thundering. Remember, that's the heart of your airplane right there. So take time to get it right. Okay. Ah, that's why it's not the Bob Smith. It's the... Shoot. This is the JB Weld 5-minute. Damn, should have had to use the Bob Smith. It dries faster. So, put that back. And we'll do Bob Smith on the other side. Now there is a difference in epoxies. That stuff that I just used is JB Weld 5-minute epoxy. I mean, it's good, but it just doesn't dry like this. This is Bob Smith. It's in a shaper's bottle, but it's kind of like the CA. Well, this is Bob Smith Instacure CA. However, this is the best that's on the market. However, unless you can get this, this comes from Woodcrafters, and this is better. This is 2P10, Professional Wood Formula Adhesive, solidly decayed material designed for wicking hairline cracks. Sets in 10 seconds. 2-year shelf life guaranteed. Triple distilled for purity. 4,000 psi tensile and shear strength. Non-clogging pin tip. This is the best you can buy. Comes from Woodcrafters. This right here, when I bought it, was about $30. And that was 10 ounces. It's probably more now. Of course, I got the P210, 2P10 activator too. This stuff kicks ass. So if you're going to get glue or whatever, get the best you can buy. Now we gotta, before I attach this thing, I've got to make sure everything clears. So put this on here. This goes this way. Okay, I don't have the correct spacing. I can see that now. This is up high. I don't have the correct depth on that either, so I need to cut that away. When you relieve your ribs, it's got to sit flush with the ribs. That way the sheeting glues to this. You know, you might put some white glue up there or whatever. Make sure everything touches everything else. Oop, where you going? Let's see here. Still not deep enough. Except for out here on the ends, it's not deep enough there. So this is the joiner that puts the spars together at the center. So you got to use glue, lots of it. And you see how this bell crank is floating up and down? No good. I have to cut a new piece of tubing. So in order, I have to look down the leading edge and decide, is it best up or down? And I can't see in there. It's good right there. It's good right there. So we need a piece of tubing. That's an 1/8 inch longer. Oh, I need 2 pieces of tubing. I'm gonna have to cut 2. And this stuff dried, but it's still sticky. Okay, tubing. I'll use this stuff. So let's see here. That's a medium. I got the large here somewhere. Right here. We'll use large. So it needs to be, I need 2 pieces that long. And for you guys who've never installed a floating bell crank, wheel collars and fuel tubing is what holds the bell crank centered between the 2 compression spars. And that's the locator that you use. But, you know, take your time and get it right, because I won't go on until it's perfect. That epoxy still ain't dry. Unbelievable. So, gonna have to go over it with Bob Smith. Again. Okay, that's good. You believe that? I mean, it'll dry eventually. Shit. I guess I better not move on tonight with that until it's completely dry. Okay, you want to act like an idiot? No problem. That'll hold her in place till epoxy dry. Yep. we need to cut some more off of that. There we go. There it is. There it is. Let's mix up some good Bob Smith epoxy. Hey, Jim. Yeah, I've been trying to win Pilot Choice there for 20 years too to get my airplane on a shirt. Never have, so yeah, congrats to John. But truth be known, I'd rather have the Concourse than that trophy. But it would be nice to have my airplane on a shirt. Okay, we gotta cut that back a little bit. Yeah. Can't believe it. I see. John's a good craftsman. He's more methodical than I am. I'm a hatchet guy. I just put them together and worry about it when it's done. There we go. There it is. No, still not quite low enough. What the heck is going on? There it is. That's gotta be it. Okay. Now I gotta look down here again, make sure it all clears. Yep, all good. I was a little worried about, you know, because I have to move the tank compartment so far back in. I was a little worried about this bell crank. And after talking to Jim and knowing what I know, I couldn't bring myself to mount it way back here. Like everybody says, it makes no difference. I don't believe it. So I had to mount it, yeah, it's semi-close to where I normally mount them. No, the bell crank movement is not limited with a block. I don't want nothing touching the bell crank. it pulls all the way on the up line or the down line and all the way on the up line until it, well, it's over centered, but okay, let's mix up some Bob Smith. I've got to get that glue off that too. We'll mix up Bob Smith epoxy and see if that does any better. That other shit was terrible. Still not dry. Yeah, it's semi-dry. Now, you saw how long it took that other epoxy to dry. Watch this stuff. This is real 5-minute epoxy. So, don't buy JB Weld 5-minute epoxy if you want to do 5 minutes. I mean, I'm sure it's good and strong, but we're going to go ahead and put some of this stuff that I know works on it too. Probably a little overkill, but better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. Ah, damn. Wondering why I was holding that damn thing so long. Okay, gotta get this in and then get the paper towel and get that wiped off. Towel. So let's put some more epoxy on that other spar. I'll wait for this one to dry and then I'll do the other one. I'll do them both at the same time again. So I need to mix up another batch. Well, I guess I could get a little bit with this. Nope, it's getting too dry, or too hard already. Too dry. Yeah. Yeah, Bob Smith Epoxy's 100 times better than that JB Weld crap. While I'm waiting on that to dry, I can look and see if I got an acid brush. If I have an acid brush, that'll make it really handy. What did I do with it? Oh, it's hot. That's some good stuff. Come on now. Where are you? You're in the bag somewhere. Yeah, there's what I was looking for that a while ago. Well, thanks for holding on while I search my junk drawer here. I don't think I hung them back up. No, I didn't hang them up. They were in the drawer here. They're hiding somewhere. There's another one of them I was looking for. About the time I don't need them is when I'll find them. Yeah, we got an artist brush. Well, it doesn't look like I have any. I can say I know I got one or two. I just don't know where they are. Okay. Well, I got a cheap old, big old paintbrush. Yeah, see, that epoxy's hard already. The other stuff is barely setting up. Let's see. This pulls up. This is the down line. This is the up line. Yeah, we'll be fine. Boy, I wish I could find that. How frustrating is that? them glued in good tonight. Looks like I've lost my pin. Oh, there's the pin top. Better put that back on before the pins come out. Yep, I don't know what to do with them. Have to go get some more, I suppose. I don't even have any good popsicle sticks. All I got these little coffee stir sticks. Well, we're not going to get much done tonight this way. Yeah. But it's still only 1 hour a night is all I work on this stuff. Most of the time. Ah, I got one. Yeah, I knew I had one. Okay. Okay. Good. So now we're going to mix up. Hey, Gary. We're going to mix up the third batch of epoxy. Actually the fourth, and we're going to mix quite a bit so that we can coat the upper and lower spar on the inside. I know you're not supposed to mix epoxy with the brush, but you know, I just can't help myself. This is the only place besides the doublers that I'll use any amount of epoxy like this. And we're going to coat. Make sure them are joined together good. All the way out. If I can get in on that. Ah, damn. Goober. Having a heck of a time tonight. Gotta get that off real quick or else it'll screw up the wood. About it on the bell crank. Get it on the ends. Can't get in there. Can't get in there, so flip it over. Okay, you got it. that's a done deal. Whew. I had a heart attack there. I guess I get a little alcohol and see if I can get that off. Which is over here. I'm using 91. Alright, bell crank's installed. Took an hour. Oh, what's this? Get them goobers off. Still got a little bit on there. I'm gonna get them babies off now because they'll ruin the finish. You see this Bob Smith epoxy's already dry. That other stuff, still hot dry. Why did I use that stuff? I'll throw it out. Okay. Let's see what it weighs as is. I think it's around 7 ounces. Got that glued to the table. That epoxy still, that's shit epoxy. They weigh 5 ounces with no bell crank and no center sheeting, so this should be around 7. .9 lead outs and bell cranks, so 7, 8, 9, 10. It'll be 11 ounces together. Not the lightest I've ever built, but definitely not the heaviest. It'll be fine. Anybody got any questions on what I've shown tonight? Let that dry. It kind of is what it is. You can't, I mean, I got the lightest wood that I can find. I got the least amount of wood that I can find, and I got the lightest control system that you can get. The least amount of glue, except for where it counts right here. I mean, I did put quite a bit of epoxy on there, but trust me, you need it right here. I wouldn't feel safe without an ample amount of epoxy here in the center in the compression spar. So how this goes together, white glue will go on top of this. This will get set down with white glue. So this becomes part of the sheeting, and the sheeting becomes part of the leading edge. And then of course the covering goes on it, and that all ties that together. Then when it goes in the fuselage, there's a, over the top of the sheeting, there's a piece of aircraft ply that goes over the top of this to capture that. So in order to pull the bell crank out of one of my airplanes, you got to pull this wire through the fuselage, or through the wing, through the fuselage, and out the end of the tip. There is no way it's going to pull out. As far as folding, this wing will never fold as long as this spar was done the way that I showed you tonight, with plenty of epoxy and nice tight fitting joint. You know, it's not a big old gap in there. The tank box will get cut in here. I got to figure out the length of the tank box. It'll probably be cut back to, let's see here, we got 2 inches past that right there. Let's see here. And I can cut the tank box way back to there, actually. I won't cut it back that far, but I'll probably cut it back to here. So this tank box will come here, so the tank can slide into the wing. Then the a piece of balsa will be fit that will span the tank box going in this direction with the grain running horizontally, and then the 2 cap ribs on that tank box that lock into the fuselage. So this locks into this, the fuselage, like I showed you on my Magnum, locks into the leading edge of this. This piece locks into the fuselage. It all gets super filled together, so it all becomes one piece. The motor mounts sit on top of the wing. The motor mounts come back, will be cut out, remember what the shape of the wing is, so that they glue to the top of the wing. There's absolutely no way that this thing can come apart. No way. Takes a catastrophic incident to make them come apart, like hit the ground. And then everything comes apart. It becomes re-kitted. So I'm happy with that for this evening. I mean, couldn't ask for too much more. Of course, I'll take the cut saw, and there's a little piece of basswood sticking out there. I'll cut that back. You wouldn't have to, but I will. Alright, that's going to do it for this evening. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share, and super chat. Super thanks. That little heart icon down on the bottom of this channel helps you. That's always appreciated. The channel's been kind of locked up with AdSense. I don't know what they're doing. They got me on probation or whatever. So I got to do what I got to do to stay solvent. Alright, we'll see you tomorrow night. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.